All right, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another 5-minute weekly market outlook presented by Coinbase Advanced. So let's get straight into it. This week, we're going to talk a lot about ETH, and for good reason. We've finally broken through, closed above, and we're holding above the final boss level. As you guys can see on your screen, the final boss level has plagued ETH for 4 years. So holding above on the weekly time frame looks extremely promising for bulls to continue marking up towards all-time highs. Any dips on a high time frame basis into the 4Ks, 4100s, confluent with this weekly point of breakdown, is going to be prime real estate for bulls to defend. We really don't want to see price below the 3900s at this point for the rest of the cycle. Now, the gray box on your guys' screen, that's your weekly point of breakdown. If you look at the left side of your screen, the weekly point of breakdown is the last weekly up candle before the devastation of selling began, and basically we entered a bear market. You guys can see that level has plagued us this entire cycle. So trading above it, very fruitful for bulls. Now let's come down to a lower time frame basis. To start off the week, we have been consolidating above that final boss level. Shallow dips have been for buying. Now we've got a little bit of an expansion outside of local value, right? This is what you want to see if you're bullish on a high time frame basis. You want to see your coin trending. You want to see breakdowns bought back up into value. You want to see expansions away from prior value and building new value. That's exactly what we've done here. Looks very promising. Below, I would say 4,300 brings back the opportunity for ETH to take out some of these lows around 4,100. That would be your shallow dip buying opportunity. I think when we expand it outside this value, you want to see momentum continue the upside from here. One thing that you should pay attention to would be the weekly VWAP. That did hold this morning. Look at the bottom right side of your screen. The weekly value area high held on our New York Open dip this morning. So any pullbacks into that weekly value area high region should be for defending on a local momentum basis. Losing your weekly value area high is going to allow Ethereum to rotate down back deeper into the weekly VWAP potentially, right? So be on the lookout for that. I think dips into your weekly value area high are going to be for buying. If you want more traditional EMA type of analysis, the 4-hour trend has been pretty goated recently. It has held us right here in this local consolidation. So you're going to be looking to be aggressive and buy those dips into the 4-hour trend if they are given. So on a bigger, higher time frame basis, the daily trend is the goated trend on Ethereum. This has gone back multiple years. Feel free to test this on your own time, but dips into the daily trend, confluent with that weekly pointer breakdown, confluent with that final boss level, those would be your bigger kind of dips to buy. You would be looking to defend at the daily trend. So those are your if-then plans on Ethereum, looking for momentum loss, looking to play continuation on momentum. We've got the dip buying plans both on lower time frames and higher time frames. Now let's move it on over to Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is in a little bit of a different environment. It's more range bound than Ethereum. Ethereum is pressing out of all of its consolidations and expanding above. Bitcoin attempted to break out of this local value, rotated back in. The optimistic approach here is saying that the Bitcoin 4-hour trend is holding. As long as the 4-hour trend continue holding, we can continue pressing and looking for higher prices. If the 4-hour trend is lost, we're probably going to fill in this CME gap. So these gray candles you guys see on your screen, that's representing the weekend CME gap. This is where we gapped up over the weekend. This is confluent with your composite value area lows. It's also confluent with the daily trend. So losing the 4-hour trend here is going to bring that rotation back into the $116,000 region, confluent with the daily trend, filling that CME gap and your daily trend, right? Now, just for the sake of displaying this, if the daily trend is lost, I do think the weekly trend is in play. Now, the weekly trend will continue marking up. It may be confluent with just running these lows. If that happens, that's a long ways away, but still, if-then plans, plan A, plan B, plan C. Plan A, we want to hold outside of value, hold the 4-hour trend, and continue looking for higher prices, prior swing highs, all-time highs, price discovery trade. If the 4-hour trend is lost, rotation back to your composite value area low. If the daily trend is lost, rotation down to the weekly trend. Those are your if-then plans on both Bitcoin and Ethereum. Hope you guys enjoyed this outlook. I will see you guys next week. Do me a favor, though. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button if you guys enjoy these. And if you guys are interested in my take on altcoins, I do all of that on my Monday live streams. I do a 2-hour live stream on Mondays. Be sure to check those out. If you missed them live, they are timestamped. You can go back to those outlooks, click on the altcoin of your choice, and get my take on that altcoin if you wish. Other than that, I'll see you guys next week. I appreciate you guys. And yeah, hit the like, hit the subscribe, and I'll see you next week. Take care.